Good morning, everybody. This is AKA Heather Joy, and you guys boarded the lifeboat. Sorry, this sitting out here on my porch watching the sunrise. It's been really pretty, but now that the sun's up, boy, it's hard to find some light I look good in. Wow, guys. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Okay, that's a little better. Oh boy, looking scary this morning. I'm going for a run after this. Sorry, I'm not gonna put a ton of makeup on, do my hair when I'm gonna go sweat. So you get me as is. Anyway, it's good to see everybody. Before I jump in, let me just quickly run through the rules we have here. Number one, please don't discuss politics in the chat and the comment section. It's just a little bit too triggering for a lot of people right now. The second one, this isn't a religious channel. It's fine to say things like, hey, I'm going to pray for you, or, I couldn't have found sobriety without my faith. That's fine. Just no overbearing religiosity. Anyway, the third rule, please refrain from cursing in the live chat on the comment section. As Tommy always says, if you can't control your mouth, you can't control your life. And let's see, the fourth one would be no trolls. There's just absolutely no room on this boat for mean people at all. That's all there is to it. And then I do have just a few requests, you guys, if I can. There we go. Okay, please exit out of that chat if you haven't hit that like button yet. Hit that like button for me and then come back in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And you guys, please share this too. Let's get these videos out to as many people. Let's reach as many as we possibly can. Anyway, let me pull up the comments here and see who's in. We got Lemmy. You were in a good mood until you looked at the body counts. Oh dear, I'm sorry, Lemmy. Oh dear. Okay, we got JT and Lemmy and Balake. Ever since Tommy kept saying that last night, that's been running through my head because my brother is AA around too. So anyway, let's see. Annette, good morning, full of hope. Charlie, Patrick, random toaster. Good morning. Kelly, hi. Ultra Maggoty. Let's see. Unpredictable Tony, hey. Quiet girl. Anybody else? I don't want to miss anybody, but I'm glad. James Novak. It's good to see everybody here this morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's see. John Doe, I almost missed you. Can't miss you. Let's see. You guys have been chatting up a storm. Wow. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. I wanted to talk today about creating healthy habits. I know I've talked about habits before, but it's been many months ago now. It's been a while ago since I talked about it, and I found I wanted to go over it again, but I've got some I looked at some different researchers this time, just slightly different information. But anyway, I just think that's what we're all trying to do. When we try to end our addiction, and find sobriety, that's what we're trying to do right there. It's create some healthy habits. I can't say that my pain pill addiction that went on for so long, it wasn't healthy at all. In fact, it kind of destroyed my health. Oh, and Ladybug, hey, good morning. I'm glad you were here. I hope you're feeling better. Let's see. Anyway, where was? Oh, okay, yeah. But there are a lot of other healthy habits that we can do. Once we get where we have a hold of our sobriety somewhat, um, I think it's a really good idea to concentrate a little bit more on your physical health, at your mental health as well. But those things definitely get neglected, when we're in active addiction. And I know for a lot of us, our kidneys, our livers, have been compromised a great deal. We're just, we don't eat well. We're not getting the exercise we need. We're not, there's a lot of things. Oh dear. Oh boy, my computer's doing weird things. I hope you guys can still see me. Okay. Anyway, so there's a lot of things that we can do, a lot of choices that we can make as far as doing some things that are healthy, creating some more healthy habits. And that could be eating better, getting more exercise, working on getting more sleep. And everybody needs that. What is my cat doing? Misha, come here. Get out there. Come back. Sorry guys. Misha, come here. Don't go over there. Like killing a cat, that's going to do any good. I just don't think when he gets close to the road. Anyway, um, meditation is another good one. That is a good goal. Journaling. What about getting organized? I know when my house is cluttered and things are in disarray and I can't find what I need, I'm not a happy person. And yeah, that has a big impact on my mood and my mental health. Honestly, is whether or not my house is decluttered and organized. Um, there's always quitting smoking, quitting drinking, quitting all the addictions that we have. Um, Maybe cutting down on the junk food, or not eating so much when you're sitting in front of the TV, or there's just so many things we could do. Maybe just even setting a goal to get your dental cleanings and checkups every 6 months, or and that yearly physical. Those are all those little things that are important that we neglect to do when we're in active addiction. Go on in, go on in, go on. I know. Anyway, um, and we all know, how many times, when you are in active addiction and you need to quit and you want to. We all know, how difficult that is, and we also know, once you set a goal and you've made a little progress and then you have a setback, how discouraging that can get. Um, and they can really throw us back. um, they can be incredibly frustrating relapses, but they can go with anything too. If you are trying to create healthy habits and you've decided on something, and again you have a setback, you're going to experience frustration. It's just the way it goes. But according to all the latest research, and they've been doing research on setting goals and making health, creating habits, good habits, healthy habits. I mean, they've been doing research on that kind of thing for decades now, and for some reason now I don't have the comments. Oh, for heaven's sakes! Come on. I apologize, guys. My computer's doing weird things today. Okay, I can't even see the. Darn it. No, don't want that. Boy, it's really wigging out on me, guys. I apologize. Wow. No, I don't want to leave the site. Wow. Sorry, guys. My computer, I don't know what is going on. I think you can still see me. I better check my phone to see if you guys can even still see me. My computer is doing weird things this morning. I apologize. Wow. And it won't stop. I don't know what it's doing. I just want to see the comments. See if you guys can still see and hear me. Good night. What is going on with this? I don't know. Okay, yep, yep, I'm still on. All right. And I got okay. You can still see me good. Thank you, Blake. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what my computer's doing this morning. Wow. Anyway, okay. At least you can see me. So, as I was saying, that all of the research, um, setbacks aren't as big of an issue if you don't make them. Change is possible, and there are proven ways that you can find success. And that's according to the decades of research. Um, and there are regular things that we do every day, that become habit. Anything that you're going to do repeatedly, that becomes muscle memory that you don't have to think through, that's your brain's way of making things more efficient and making things easier for you. And that's always nice, and the problem is sometimes that can lead to some bad habits. But, um, our brains are wired to do that, um, any kind of habit that causes you to feel good when you perform it, um, is going to be anything like that, that makes you feel good. It's going to be difficult to to change, and we all know that. As addicts, we know how difficult that can be. Um, but often habits become automatic. They occur without you having to think about them. You don't have to give them much thought. And so if they are good, healthy habits, that is wonderful. But it is, if you're trying to change a bad one to a good one, can be kind of difficult. But the first step you want to do when you are working on changing your behavior, the first step is always, to create awareness around what you do regularly. Okay. And this, I got this from, her name is Dr. Lisa Marsh, and she's an expert in behavior change at Dartmouth University. And this is what she suggests. She says to create awareness around what you do regularly. Okay. And that takes some mindfulness. But you want to look for patterns in your behavior, um, and look at what might trigger you to do unhealthy behaviors. Um, that could be, you know, but look at your triggers. Pay attention to, if all of a sudden you have cravings, or even maybe you just have an urge for some junk food, some sugar or some caffeine, or um, overeating, or just there's so many different things we can overdo. But pay attention to what your triggers are, and if there's something that happens to you, that triggers you to want to engage in those activities. But especially, be mindful of those that, everybody, as far, that is an addict, needs to be very aware of the things that can trigger them as far as, you know their addiction. But that is the first part. you know and this, like I said, this could be a number of things, not just cravings for your drug of choice. It could be just sitting in front of the TV and eating your dinner. Dumb bug. Eating your dinner in front of the TV. You're not paying attention to what you're eating as much. You're not paying attention to how much. If you're sitting in front of the TV, very good chance you're going to overeat. Eat more than your body needs. Um, you know, um, maybe, or maybe, I know my sister really struggled with this when she wanted to quit smoking. Um, at work, she always had her group of friends, and they all smoked. They all went out for their smoke breaks together, and it was a difficult thing, because that's kind of your social life. That's your break. That's people that you spend time with and you talk to. If you're not taking that smoke break with them, you're missing out. You're missing out on your relationships. And it's from what my sister had said, every time they would go out and everyone else would be smoking, it was really hard to not want to join in. But that's another situation. So you want to develop, once you identify the things that might trigger the behaviors that you might want to change. It's good to develop ways to disrupt those patterns, and create new ones. So what it suggests was as far as like eating in front of the TV, turn the TV off. Or don't even eat. Don't even eat in front of the TV. Sit at your dining room table, talk to your partner, talk to your family, something like that. Um, but you want to create a new pattern. As far as maybe the smoking thing with your friends and having that smoke break, maybe get a couple of friends to take a walking break during your break. I don't even know if that's possible where you work, but that's just just a suggestion, and an example of a way that you can disrupt and change the pattern. um, the next thing that she suggests is making a plan. And I suggest, if you're going to make a plan, you're going to set a goal, write it down. Make a plan. Don't just make notes in your head. A lot of times if we just set something mentally in our head and we don't write it down, there's a lack of commitment behind it. At least that's what I noticed in myself my whole life. And I've always been told that write your goals down, write them down, and make a plan, maybe set up a schedule, by by week 3 I want to be this far along with whatever your goal is, but you do need to make a plan. And the plan should include very small reasonable goals that you can meet. I mean, they do need to be a challenge, but they also need to be something that you can actually accomplish. um, and then it also said, to in that plan include specific actions that you're going to take to meet that goal. um, let's see, and it gives an example here. Maybe you have a bad habit of buying junk food at the vending machine at work, and maybe you walk by it every afternoon and you just can't resist getting a couple of things out of the vending machine. And that, if that's something you do once in a while, I don't see a problem. But if it's something you do every afternoon, it might have an impact on your waistline and your health in general, just the way you feel. So it suggests, an action that you could take here would be, walk in a different direction, completely eliminate the temptation in the first place. That might be a way of going around it. Another thing that you could do, an action that you could actually do is, pack something healthy with you and take it to work. Um, let's see. And then she suggests here, consider what you need to be successful. How can you change things around you to support your goals? And so if you've got a weight loss goal, or you just want to eat better, stocking up on healthy foods, that's going to help you. Removing things that are going to tempt you. um, and she even says, find a special spot to relax. Anytime you're trying to change your behavior and create a new one, it's going to be a little stressful. It's going to push some buttons, and it is really good to have a place where you can just relax. And yeah, you guys I'm sure can tell I love my front porch. This is my place. I love this place to sit and relax. Uh, let's see. Okay, Dr. Marshall also suggests, um, get friends and loved ones involved. Okay, and she cites a lot of research, and I won't go into specifics, but she cites a lot of research in the articles that I read, that show that people's health behaviors tend to mirror that of their family, or their significant other, the people that they live with. You tend to mirror those around you. So if you can get people around you involved in the same goal, that's really helpful, that's very supportive. But you do at least want to let them know, this is my goal, and I would appreciate your encouragement, I'd appreciate your help. But let them know, and give them specifics, that you need them to do. Or um but it says, best of all, just enjoy. She said that several times, to invite them to join you. and whatever it is, because if it's a healthy habit, and it's good for you, most likely it's going to be good for other people as well. Let's see. And then and then she talks about how it's really really important to plan to have obstacles towards your that are going to get in the path of your goal. um, and so she said, this is part of making that plan. You need to plan ahead. You need to decide, what am I going to do if there are obstacles. And think about, what things might derail your best efforts for whatever it is that you want to accomplish. um, and then she suggests, thinking about, how can you continue to make choices during unexpected situations, because everybody has emergencies pop up. Things are going to happen. It's just the way life is. There's going to be illnesses in your family. There's always going to, everybody experiences deaths in their families. Everybody, from time to time is going to have it, economic issues. I mean, everybody has things that come up. Um, Especially as addicts, we need to be prepared for things like this, and we need to know ahead of time what we're going to do to deal with the stress and make it possible to get through whatever it is, that comes up, because everybody is going to have to face obstacles, emergencies, things that are going to get in the way, things that are going to trigger you. So you need to already know how you're going to handle it. What are you going to do? And anticipate whatever obstacles you can anticipate and be prepared for them. Let's see. Um, but just remember, that those times like that, you they are stressful. You're going to be tempted, um, and we all need to be prepared for that. The next thing uh, that is suggested in the process of change, creating healthy habits, is to stay on track. Um, and doing positive things for yourself um, can be very rewarding, and really exciting. I mean, and look how exciting it is every time, you know, um, people come on the chat and say, I've got a whole month sober now. We all know how hard won sobriety is, and it is so cool when we get to see other people, reaching those goals. And I love this community. I love the boat. I love being able to see people having success. It's cool. But if it's you that it's happening to, boy, it feels good, doesn't it? It feels really good. Um, but there are times, yeah, doing positive things for yourself is rewarding. It feels good. There are times when you are going to you're going to have moments of weakness, and you're going to doubt if you can do it. Okay, that's something else that you kind of need to plan for. You need to do something that is going to help you stay on track. And right there, you are going to doubt yourself at times. That happens to everybody. So it's really important, when you have those doubts, those negative thoughts, that maybe I can't do this. um, it's really important to identify those negative thoughts and turn them into more realistic and productive thoughts. You need to be able to be mindful of those thoughts, catch them, and change them. And what can really help in this, again, is if you've written them down. Okay, keeping a record can really help with this. Okay, and this could be, you can do this in so many different ways. You can write it down in a journal, on pen and paper. You can use a number of computer programs. There's also all kinds of apps for making healthy choices. There's so many out there. um, just depends on what it is you're trying to do, honestly. But there's an app for it, I guarantee it. Um, but things that you can, keep track of, keep record of, would be things like, if it's a healthier diet, you know, writing down the things that you are eating with each meal, and even you know, even planning out meals is a good way to do that one too, you know. And gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? um Meal prepping is really helpful if you want to be eating well. um but you know, if it's an exercise goal that you have, like, you know, for me, I'm my husband and I both run, and we're both training for races all the time, and we keep very meticulous records of our runs. We record, you know, exactly how long they are, the elevation gains and losses that we had during it, our heart rate, our blood pressure before and after. I mean, we keep meticulous records of all of those things, and try to pay attention to them. You know, our VO2 max, all of that stuff. Those are all things that we keep record of, because it helps us know, you know, where our bodies are, and what kind of shape we're in. And yeah, but um, stress levels is another thing. You know, that's important to record. Sleep patterns is really good. Um, but you know, it all kind of depends too on what is your goal. But you know, keeping track of that is a really good way to help identify the negative thoughts that you know, that I was just speaking of a moment ago. I thought this was interesting. It said that there was a study done of people that lost 30 pounds, and they were able to keep it off for more than a year. And the thing that they all had in common, all of them that were able to keep it off, they tracked their progress. That's a really, I think it's a really important one. But it said they not only tracked their progress, but they closely tracked their progress. So I know for me it helps, at least with my exercise goals, my running goals, and I trying to train for a marathon. I don't know if it's going to happen, but man, you know what? I really seriously need to get better nutrition in me. So maybe you know what? I think I need to start keeping a food journal so that I am paying attention to what I'm putting in this mouth, you know? Because honestly, when, you know, they say garbage in, garbage out is really true when it comes to running. Very true. Let's see. Okay. Okay. And I've got, let's see, even if you feel like you're about to quit, um, so don't give up. Continue to track the behavior. And it suggested that, you know, sometimes when you feel like you are failing, that's when you can learn the most. You know, and you want to be, you know, keeping track of your progress, keeping track of everything. You know, if you're keeping track of the thoughts that you're having, um, really helpful in identifying when you're having negative ones. You know, that can help, kind of help you be mindful of that, and help you know how to change it, perhaps. You know, um, let's see. And then I wrote down that there's another behavior expert. His name's Dr. Leonard Epstein, and he's at the University at Buffalo. And let's see, his specialties are behavior change and decision making. Did I already say that? I don't remember. Anyway, he said here, the more you practice self control, the better you become at it. You develop the capacity to act and react in another way. I know that's a simple statement, but I think it says a lot. You know, the more you practice self control, the better you become at it. I really like that. And that's been, as far as sobriety, that's been my experience with it. It does, the longer this goes, the easier it gets. And that's the truth. But boy, the first 8 years were pretty darn rough, guys. Wow. Let's see. Okay, the next part of creating healthier habits is thinking about the future. And again, and this part is coming from Dr. Epstein. I just read that quote from him. Anyway, he said that some people have a harder time at resisting their impulses, and yeah, we do. Some of us do have struggle more, and I think it depends on what it is you're struggling with too, because people with addictions are going to struggle a lot harder with those than they are than people that aren't addicts. I mean, they're just not going to struggle with being able to put a bottle down, or you know what I'm saying. Um, let's see. Anyway, he suggests this Dr. Epstein suggests delayed discounting. That's what he calls it, delay discounting. What he means by that is he said you discount or you undervalue the larger benefits of waiting in favor of smaller and immediate rewards. Okay, let me read that again. He said you discount or undervalue the larger benefits of waiting in favor of smaller and immediate rewards. Sorry, and that's really true. Um, when you have a craving for something, you want it then. You want it right then, and you're not thinking about the long term. When you're stuck in moments like that, you're thinking about just the immediate, the immediate, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I want. Anyway, but it's really true, and that's why we struggle with things like overeating, with addictions, um, substance abuse, drinking, excess shopping, risky sexual behaviors, all of those things. Um, when you're stuck in the moment, you want that immediate gratification. That was the word I was looking for, gratification. You want that, um, when the best thing you could do, and that what would make it easier for you in the long run, is to just stick with it. But we all know, especially with addiction, how hard that can be. Anyway, he says here you can learn to postpone immediate gratification through episodic future thinking, or vividly imagining future positive experiences or rewards. It's a great way to strengthen your ability to make decisions that are better for you in the long run. I like that. And it's true. I mean, as far as, I mean, the only thing I can think of right off the top of my head where I have done that, that where he talks about episodic future thinking, or vividly imagining future positive experiences. I imagine what's usually when I'm training for a really big race, I mean a really long race, and I just keep it in my head. I keep envisioning crossing the finish line and actually accomplishing, getting it done, actually reaching that finish line. But I vividly think of that in my head and try to envision what it's going to be like, what it's going to feel like. Um, I know I find it helpful. It helps me keep on my goals and my training. Anyway, let's see. Focusing on how a change might heal your body and enhance your life can help as well. And I like that too. That's stopping smoking. Just think of that one right there. You know, um, I don't know if you realize, but just stopping, okay, stopping, set, I heard again. I'm sorry, guys. If you don't smoke for 24 hours, your risk of a heart attack significantly drops just after 24 hours of refraining from smoking. Um, you know, anytime that you can focus on how a change is going to, make things better, that can help. That really can. Just another example I was thinking of, decreasing your stress levels is such an important thing that everybody today really needs to look into. But just looking at, the impact that lower stress levels can have on your relationship is enough right there, to keep you working on it, because it really does. When you're under less stress, your relationships do flow so much better. Things go so much more smoothly. You're not irritable, and you don't get caught up in things, and But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, there are a lot of small improvements in many ways. I think are in the end going to be a lot more helpful when you're trying to, you know, reach an end goal. If you can divide each step into small goals that you can reach, and then keep in mind that all these little small improvements are going to benefit you in the end. The next part of the process is just being patient. Okay, sometimes these things just take time. um, and sometimes when you're trying to be healthier, or maybe you have other health issues, um, other sorry, other health issues can kind of get in the way. um, and that can be a little bit discouraging. When you are struggling with behaviors that you want to change, ask yourself, um, is there actually more going on here? For example, mental health conditions like depression and anxiety, um, they tend to be tied to unhealthy behaviors. So if you find yourself engaging in a lot of different unhealthy behaviors, and you're trying to figure out why, I mean, there might be something more behind it. Maybe it is depression or anxiety that is pushing some of those behaviors. So you always need to keep that in mind, that it might be some sort of health issue or mental health issue that might be getting in the way. And that can happen. In cases like that, it's really helpful to have a health professional, your doctor or a therapist, or a counselor or a coach, anybody like that. But having somebody like that to work with, in cases like that, can kind of help you pinpoint what the underlying problem is. And sometimes that can make making those changes a little bit easier. Um, but things, we all know this, things don't always go as planned. It's just the way it is. That's life. But I just want to go over, let me pull something up here to summarize. Where did I put that? Hang on, guys. Okay, so building healthy habits. First thing you want to do, remember, is to plan. Okay, identify unhealthy patterns and triggers. Okay, set very realistic goals and write them down. Okay, if you have to, in order to meet your goal, change your surroundings. Find ways that are going to make healthier choices more easy to make. Take remove temptations. That's a huge one right there. The next one would be, ask for support. um, let your family and friends know what your goal is, and invite them to join you if it's appropriate. um, oh boy, I don't know, I didn't see that one before, but anyway, see, fill your time with healthy activities. Okay. um, there's a lot of time as addicts, when we're in active addiction, we put a great deal of time into getting our drug of choice. And we waste a lot of time. That does take up a lot of time. So when you're trying to end an addiction, you're going to have a lot of free time. Fill that time up with things that are going to benefit you. uh, Track your progress. Talked about that. That's an important one. Imagine the future. you know um, that's going to help you to stay on track in a lot of ways. um, I also suggest here, reward yourself. Think of, let's see, yeah, give yourself a healthy reward when you've achieved a small goal or milestone. Those are really important. We need to celebrate those little victories, especially the ones that we make in addiction recovery. We need to celebrate those. But then just be patient with yourself. you know um, Long lasting healthy habits, they do take time. And bad um, habits, especially addiction, those have taken a great deal of time to to set up the pattern that you've had going for so long. It's not easy, but it can be done. And yeah, there's a lot of us that do it every day on this boat. This boat's an amazing thing, you guys. Let me pull up the chat and see. Let's see who's here. Oh, Scooby came in. Scooby and Cheryl, Jennifer. Who else popped in that I didn't notice? PJ. And let's see. Anik Alexander. Good morning. Let's see. If I missed anybody, if I missed you today, I apologize. But anyway, we've got a lot of people in here. It's good to see everybody. I hope you guys have a really great day. I have got a ton to do. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna fill out that whole hour today, but oh, I got lots to do today, guys. Oh, anyway, I hope you guys have a really good day. If you guys are struggling, you know, please reach out. My I always put my email in the description box. Charlie is so good too to put out the um, emails for myself and for Tommy. But work on, if you don't have that list of 5 people, work on getting that 5. You know, that's one of the best things you can do when you get into a difficult situation is to reach out, talk it through. Um, helps tremendously. Been there. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. We'll see ya. Okay, now the broadcast does not want to end. Good grief. You're stuck with me, guys. My computer sees stuff. That's lovely. Oh, heck.